Hey boos, in this video I give commentary based on my opinion. Nothing is to be taken as factual. We are just here to have conversation. We don't expose and we don't sip tea on this channel. I'm giving you real talk straight, no chaser. Let's see if you can hear.
Cause I'm a boss.
Don't ever try to fit in when God has clearly created you to stand out. Always be a lady. And understand you are the prize. Don't give yourself to anybody that is not going to be your husband. If they love you, if they really care about you, they'll wait on you. Steve and I have been drilling this into our daughters for forever. You always carry yourself like a lady. Being a lady never goes out of style.
In today's video, I want to talk about why are single women bashed for being single and for dating around, but women who are in relationships that are toxic and sometimes abusive are praised. And I want to talk about this because we see this a lot, especially in today's society. It's almost like if you don't have a man, they label you as one, or they label you as a woman who can't get one or can't find a man. Or two, if you're dating around, just to date around, to see what you like and to learn more about yourself as a single woman, you are labeled a hoe. So I just really wanted to talk about this because I don't know how many times I honestly don't know how many times I've been in a situation where people like to throw it up in my face, oh, you're single, as if I can't be in a relationship with some random person. You know, getting in a relationship really isn't hard, especially if you're pretty. You know, let me just be honest. If you have pretty girl privilege, getting in a relationship isn't hard. And I'm speaking on pretty girl privilege just for a sec here because I didn't always have pretty girl privilege. So 3 years from today or 4 years ago, I would have not been able to get in a relationship. I can honestly say that, you know, because I didn't have pretty girl privilege. But today, when people throw up in my face that, oh, you're single, you're single, you're single, I could easily be in a relationship. That's not the problem. That's not the issue. And a lot of times, single women are labeled as if they can't get a man, but that's not the problem. The issue is the quality of a man that is the issue. And I really wanted to talk about this today because so many single women on a daily get bashed for being single when in reality, they are dodging men that don't really add any value to their lives. You know, they suck them dry. And when you date, you realize that when you date, you find out that they are just sucking you dry. So why in hell would you get in a relationship with this person? So when it comes to Cardi B was getting cheated on before she was even married. Cardi B was cheated on when she was engaged. So to see her in this endless cycle of Offset cheating on her isn't surprising, because a lot of times we see women who get into these relationships or worse, marriages, and the red flags were there. The red flags have been there. But because having a man looks better to most, they would rather deal with the red flags, get in a toxic or worse abusive marriage or relationship, and stay. And basically take on that burden of that relationship instead of remaining single and not settling and looking at yourself more so as the prize and not an option.
I have dated men that were extremely faithful to me.
Were they ugly?
No, mad cute, big dick, all that.
Oh my God.
Super faithful to me. But it's like a lot of people you know, when that whole cheating scandal came out, a lot of people was like, you deserve somebody faithful. But just because somebody like extremely faithful don't make you happy, because
That's true.
the guys that were extremely faithful to me, it just didn't work out. You just need to find somebody that you really in love with and make you happy. And when it comes to being in the public eye, we just gotta be extremely honest. Before things came out on the media, I already knew.
My pops told me that this generation is quick to give up, right? So he said if you're in a relationship in a marriage for years with kids for like 5-10 years and somebody drifts off for a few months, you shouldn't get divorced. So like if you ever found out you got cheated on 10 years down the line, 5 years down the line, you out?
I mean, I gotta find out because I haven't been with nobody for 10 to 15 years. It's just you know when to walk away. You feel it. I feel like you feel it in your heart when to walk away.
Let me start off by saying this is not relationship advice. This is not marital advice. This is strictly my opinion. And the topic at hand here is, why are single women shamed for being single, and women like Cardi B are praised for being in toxic relationships / marriages? So I want to know why. I wonder if Cardi regrets saying that, because she's basically saying that, oh, being faithful doesn't mean, being in a faithful relationship or marriage doesn't mean it brings you, happiness, which is understandable. I can get that. But it is a burden, though, to be cheated on. It is a burden to be disrespected. It is a burden to be publicly humiliated. It takes a toll on your mental health. And I wonder if Cardi regrets saying that, because it's honestly like, it's a low self-esteem. Like, it's to say something like that, you really don't think highly of yourself. And we see this with a lot of women because they want to live up to society standards of being married and having children and the family life. But is it really worth it? Is it really worth the emotional burden that it brings on your life? Is it really worth the disrespect? Is it really worth the hurt to be in a relationship or a marriage that is more of a burden than it is a benefit? And Cardi is a success. We can talk about how she's problematic all day, especially on Instagram, but she has her own money. But because she has this ideal, and you know what, this ideal, it's embedded in our heads as young women with these Disney princess movies and these love stories that we watched growing up, that if you don't have a family, if you don't have a husband, you don't have children, you're not really successful as a woman in society. So sometimes we grab a hold onto these men that really aren't doing shit for us, and we try to make it work. We try to work things out. And in reality, we're devaluing ourselves. We're hurting our own selves because we keep allowing, the behavior to occur, because we don't want to walk away from this picture, the picture that we see here, the family picture. Because when you look at this picture, you would say she has it all, but does she really? Her man doesn't respect her, and it really comes down to that. And I'm sure that has to be hurtful to her. And we can look from the outside and look in and say, you know what, she deserves so much more than that. But at the end of the day, if she doesn't see that, there's no point in even wanting that for her, because she has to see it for herself. And we see this a lot. Especially on Instagram. You got people on Instagram taking pictures like this, and the couple doesn't even sleep in the same bed. They get together, they take their picture, they post for Instagram with the family, and then they're going home, or they're going back in the house, and they're sleeping in separate beds. Because so many people are just so obsessed, especially women, with the idea of being in a marriage or a relationship, having the family life, but it costs them their mental health, Cardi B is not mentally sound. She honestly, she needs therapy. Her lashing out, in most cases, is because she's going through things behind the scenes. And I believe it's because she knows Offset is cheating. Women, we know. We know when we're being dogged out. We can feel it. We can feel it before we see it. We can feel it before we even see the evidence or have proof. We can feel it. It's just something in our gut or something in our heart that's just off. It's like an energy. We feel it before we see it. So her lashing out is typical behavior for any woman that has that intuition and feels that intuition that something just is not right. Next, I want to talk about Laurie Harvey because she gets shamed a lot for just dating. We don't know who she's sleeping with or if she's sleeping around. We don't know that. But because she's seen with this man, because she's dating in her social circle, which is upper class, she has been seen with different celebrities within the industry because her parents are celebrities. So she has access to those type of men, those caliber of men. And so she's viewed, loose, all for dating. And we see this a lot in Black women. We shame Black women for dating around, but then we praise women like Cardi B for being in toxic relationships. And it just doesn't make any sense. Now, I can understand if Offset cheated once, maybe even twice, maybe on a good day. But he's a serial cheater. And Laurie Harvey is a serial dater. She dates around. She dates for the experience. She's young. She's 22. Why can't single women be viewed for not settling over not being able to get a man? Now, we all know that Laurie Harvey can easily get a man. That's not the issue. And that's not why she's hopping from man to man. I honestly think she's just doing it for the experience. And I feel like more Black women need to do that. Cardi B, when she first came out, before meeting Offset, she met Offset back in 2016 on the set of Lick It, I believe that was the song, or A Lick. I'm not really sure what song it was, but that's how they ended up meeting. But honestly, that was the time for Cardi to really date because she was entering a whole new lifestyle. She was entering a whole new social class, and she could have just dated around to, learn more about herself and see who would be interested. She could have had potentials lined up. And I think more women need to do that. There's no needing you rushing to settle down just because you meet this guy and you have great conversation and you create this bond. But you could create several bonds with different men. No one is saying that you have to sleep around and stay to one guy. So on my platform, I like to teach, especially Black women, that it is okay to date around and to have prospects. Because that's all Laurie Harvey is doing. She is creating prospects, she is gaining experience, and she's living her best life. Just doing that. And she also views herself as the prize. She's not settling, and she carries herself like a lady. And I think we can all learn from Laurie Harvey. She is a great example. You don't really hear any mess about her. You don't hear crazy stories about her unless it's rumors because she's been seen dating this guy or this guy. People have their opinions on her dating potentially or allegedly dating P. Diddy when she was actually dating his son at one point. So, but we don't know. We really don't know. And by the looks of her mom, I don't think she went and slept with P. Diddy's son and then turned around and slept with him. Or even if she slept with P. Diddy's son, she would even think to, date his dad. She doesn't seem like the type of girl that would do that, and she wasn't raised like that. So I think that she dated P. Diddy's son, but found out that he was pretty immature and then somehow ended up talking to his dad. And is that really wrong? Is that really wrong if there wasn't any sexual relations that happened with that engagement or that relationship? I don't really think it is. It's just different. It's like, dang, like she's just moving around. And as a young Black woman with beauty and youth, that's something that you should be doing. I don't understand why that's looked down on. It's not looked down on in other races. It's only looked down on within the Black community. And more Black women need to just date around just for the hell of it, just because. Not for a free meal, but to learn more about yourself. So that's all that I wanted to talk about in this video, you guys. I would love your opinion on this. Why are single women shamed for being single, but women who are in toxic or abusive relationships are praised? Comment down below. I would love your opinion on this. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell so that you're notified when I upload, and I'll catch you in my next one.